Hi.
Hello, Patreon members. We are live here for
That's right.
the Patreon intro, episode 83. We have.
We're going. This year is just cruising. It feels like just yesterday we started the beginning of the year, and now we're almost at the end. You all right? You all right there?
Hang on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, my internet, I can hear you now. My internet was like lagging really weird.
Weird.
Okay, that's weird. Maybe it's because I pulled up Amazon Prime because there's a football game on tonight, so I pulled it up and it's going to put it like over on this side of my screen. I think I did that right.
Hold on. You were going to watch a video game while you podcast? Or a football game?
Well, I am. I mean, I'm not. It's not. I am. I'm going to pull it over to this side. I have a big wide monitor. I'm going to pull it over
I need your undivided attention. Our listeners need your undivided attention.
Look, it's like 90% focused. All right, that's about as best I can give you.
Wow.
But I can't. On more positive news, I have a job now again, which is great.
You mentioned that in our group chat, and I didn't ask any details because shit was happening. So, what's the deets? What you doing now?
So it's a revenue cycle financial analyst, which is pretty cool. For a healthcare company now. So nice. I'm out of the accounting. Well, like, of course I'm still doing the same work, but
you're like, accounting, but you're out of the accounting.
I'm not working for a big accounting corporation.
Right.
I'm at a healthcare place now, which will be interesting, but I'm not in a hospital. They have their own building downtown that's just for like their office type people, because everybody's like, do you got to wear scrubs as a finance guy? I was like, no, I absolutely do not.
You're like watching up to go crunch those numbers.
But I start on Monday.
Okay.
Which is cool. So, and the cool thing is I got really lucky getting this job because I applied for something else. And the guy that was kind of lower than what, I would really want to do. I was just, looking for things. And the guy was like, you actually seem like, I can tell you have a lot of experience. I actually have a position opening up in a couple weeks. And cause we talked, it was like right around when I did get out the last one, whenever they laid us off. So, it was like the number one on my like job board, I guess you could say, like my hopes. And then he ended up reaching out, and so I got it, and
Awesome.
I start Monday. But I guess since I got to do an orientation on Monday, but it's mostly clinical, but they just make every employee go through it. So like for 7 hours, I'm sure the first hour it's going to be like, here's your benefits, here's your 401k information.
Sure. Yeah.
And then the next 7 hours is going to be like doctor and nurse focused. And I'm going to be in there with doctors, nurses, and surgery schedulers and whoever else they're hiring.
Right.
So it's going to be really boring on Monday.
Sure.
Then I'll
do you work there? You don't work from home?
So I'll train in the office, and then I think there's a team of like 5 or 6 of us on a specific team. And then he said one of them was full remote. Another one comes in 2 days a week. Another analyst.
Okay.
So I can really choose, but I think I'm going to try to go in 2 or 3 times a week once I get.
I'll be honest.
settled.
I'll be honest. Like yesterday and today, I really wished that I had like a job I could go into, because like being at home, I got zero work done. I could not concentrate on anything because like there's no one here. So like yesterday, I told my boss, I'm like, I'm not. Sup Luke, sup Paragon, and also hi Pletho. Real quick before I get into my story here, Pletho just posted his review of Street Fighter 2 Cammy. I watched it today. Great review, buddy. I can't wait to do it, but I love your poses. I love your video. Anyways, as I was saying, I messaged my boss on Tuesday night at like 1 a.m. I'm like, I can't sleep. There's no way I'm working tomorrow. And then in the morning in Slack, he's like, you have like the day off if you need it. So I was like, sweet. I didn't even turn my computer on. I sat in front of my TV all day. Because they just released the Horizon Zero Dawn remaster for PS5. So I paid $10 because I had the PS4 version to get like the remastered version. And that's all I did all day yesterday. Because I never beat it. I got maybe like 10 or 12 hours in, and I don't know, I just lost interest in it or something. But now I'm like playing through it, and I'm like, oh yeah, let's go, Aloy. Let's shoot down some weird robot dinosaurs. Awesome. Like it was fun. So that was my whole day yesterday. Yeah.
Having an office to go into is nice whenever you're like you need it. Whenever you need to lock in and focus.
Yeah, we need to lock in and focus. Yeah. Well,
because when I'm here, and when I'm here, there's too many figures on my desk.
Exactly.
Too much going on.
Exactly. There's too much going on.
Work.
And there's no one that's like holding me accountable. Like today.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna go take a nap because like I just need to clear my head. So I took a nap for like I set my alarm for 25 minutes, which is like my sweet spot nap time. It went off, and then I just laid in bed for 20 minutes scrolling on my phone because like I just didn't have the willpower to get out because there's like no one making me. It's like really hard. Yeah. But
I'm just glad the job hunt is over.
Yeah.
And it was
my other question for you. And you don't have to answer this, but like, is this the same-ish or better for like toy purchases for you? If you know what I'm asking.
Oh yeah, okay, I get you.
If you know what I'm asking.
Yeah, it's a little better. It's okay. Not much.
That's good.
It's not. Yeah. It's basically the same thing that I was doing, but it's going to be a little different. But I was able to go up a little bit, which is very nice. That's always what you want.
Yeah,
I had.
I
remember. I was talking to Wilbon on the phone about this a while ago, but I interviewed for a job, and in between the interview, like I interviewed for him in person, and then on a Wednesday or Tuesday, I can't remember. And then on Friday, they told me like the salary was X amount. They basically told me it was like $6 less per hour than what they budgeted out initially for the job. Wow. And I'm like, that's actually insane. Like $6 per hour. That's a lot of fucking money, you know, like short. And it was a job that actually paid less than what I was making. So it's like the drop was even bigger. And so thankfully, like they didn't offer me that one, but I wouldn't have taken it anyways because I don't want to offer the first crappy thing that
Oh heck no! Yeah, you're not desperate yet.
But I think I did get really lucky with.
Oh, it sounds like it. I'm glad that you found a spot. Hopefully it works out. Hopefully everyone's cool.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll get a bunch of new listeners to Black Series Cantina.
I hope so. Yeah, a bunch of healthcare patients.
That's right. That's the new demographic we're going for.
If I ever wander out into the hospital and,
Speaking of which, we're not, because I don't want to talk about it on the show. We did get an email from some author's publicist. This is just for our Patreon people here. We're probably going to have him on probably at the beginning of next year. I bought the guy's book. It's about like the heroine's journey, like cycle.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't read it, like just what the little blurb she said. I'm like, I was even apprehensive. I'm like, what does this have to do with toys? But like the publicist spun it as like, he likes to talk about Star Wars toys. So I was like, I mean, I guess it's something to do.
Yeah, we can have him on for like the first hour of the show.
I think we should just record it separately. Yeah, just separately, no audience or anything, and then plug that into like a regular episode for sure.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay, and then I guess we can just put the video up on.
Yeah, by itself.
Here?
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I'll upload it to YouTube, and we'll make it Patreon exclusive video. You know, for like normal, like what we normally do.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That works. But yeah, that'll be an interesting chat whenever we schedule that. I saw you messaged him back and forth a couple of times. So
I felt bad because we didn't reply, and then like the publicist emailed literally the next day after I replied. I'm like, listen, like, chill out. We got time. Like, calm down. I know people aren't banging down the door to talk to your boy there about his book, about his one book that he wrote.
What if he signs up for Patreon? He's watching. He's gonna.
Oh no! I mean, we're super excited to talk to you.
It'll be.
I don't even know. Yeah. I wanted to read the book before we had him on because I don't even know. Like, I'm always apprehensive about this stuff. Like, I don't know if it's gonna fit. I don't know if this is the kind of thing that we do on our podcast. Because like a lot of people think that we have like a general Star Wars podcast, and sometimes like our conversations can go that way, but it's still all within the
action figure.
Action figures, exactly.
Yeah. For sure. So we'll see. We'll ask him what his favorite Black Series figures are, and he'll just be stumped.
Yeah. I like the Luke Skywalker. Yep.
I guess we'll just have to ask him like about what he played with as a kid.
That's probably. Yeah. We'll come to that when we come to it. But I guess we'll get started.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Cool beans. Hi there. You are listening to Black Series Cantina. This is episode 83, and we have a lot of reveals to cover. Well, we have two things of reveals to cover, so we're excited. Mm-hmm. But as always, I'm your host, Mike, and with me is your other host, Zach.
And that's me, Zach, here as always, here with Mike. And we do have a good amount to talk about today. We have a lot of listener emails, which thank you for keeping that segment alive.
Love it. Love it, love it, love it.
But I'm kind of worried because we have a lot this week. What if next time we only have like 3 or 2?
Keep them coming.
We have like 6 to get to. So keep the emails coming, but we'll get to that here in a little bit. I did want to talk about right at the top of the show. Mike, I'm finally free of most of my Black Series packaging. I finally threw it out. And I cleared up the entire corner in the storage room.
Oh.
I can't be more excited.
You had so many.
Yeah, I literally had like 5 of those boxes just filled with action figure boxes for no reason. Just storing them for absolutely zero reason. And I was like, I'm tired of this. I want to just get rid of them. So I went through them, kept a select few, like, the Wampa box and the Tauntaun box.
Yeah.
The Shadow Squadron box. Things like that.
Sure.
But, like I had a bunch of like random red boxes and galaxy packaging, stuff like clones and just all those figures. And I was like, I'm done with these. I'm going to recycle these. I'm going to free up the space. And I've been throwing away the boxes lately anyways. So honestly, the old ones, I
think a project I'm going to have when I move is I'm going to get rid of all the boxes, and I'm going to find all their accessories for each individual figure, and I'm just going to package them all together. So like in little baggies or something.
I always like doing I like doing the plastic case and just throwing all the accessories in there.
Well, so I don't want to mix up accessories and I don't play that game like, oh, which one does this one go with or whatever. But like, yeah.
Well, I mean, at that point, like they kind of all end up being all the same. Like I have like 6 or 7, maybe even more of the Anakin / Luke / Rey, depending on what your Star Wars is, I guess.
Yeah,
Lightsaber, but it's like one can really go to all of them. So
for sure.
But for most of the accessories, like they're pretty specific. I feel like I can remember.
Yeah.
What most? Maybe there's some small things that'll stump.
I'm usually pretty good whenever someone on like Facebook in a group is like, "Hey, what accessory is this?" Like immediately, I'm like, "Oh, that's that little flashlight thing that goes on the tip of Mud Trooper Han Solo's gun that everyone ends up losing." Like little stuff like that. Yeah.
Now I have a good idea. We're gonna play a game right at the top of the show. I'm gonna pull out a random accessory. All right. All right.
You're right, Pletho. You're right, Pletho. Hands are the tough ones to keep track of, for sure.
All right, what is this?
That is a Scarlet Witch hand.
No.
What? Oh, that's sorry. You're right. That's a Starkiller hand.
Yes. I know a color thing is an issue. Color can be an issue, but it is a black wrap on the hand. Yeah. That's my bad. I'll take the L on that one.
No, I mean, I knew it was. I just knew. I thought it was a trick question. I thought you were trying to trick me. Like, oh, it's not even a Star Wars accessory.
All right, this one right here.
That's the little staff for Constable Zuvio.
Yeah, see, look, you're 2 for 2 here, all right? All right, next one up. This one might be tricky.
Janna's quiver.
Look at you. See, you're a goat at this. All right, one more.
One more. Give it to me.
Maybe I'll try to make it a hard one. Here we go. This might be tough. Maybe not.
Oh no, that's one of the C-3PO limbs for the break apart C-3PO.
Look at you.
It's probably the leg, but judging by the size, it's the leg.
Yeah. See, you're just you're the goat at this. All right, well, let's do one more. I'll try to find a hard one.
Oh no.
Let's see.
Yeah. So don't do what Pletho's doing, like a random E11. I had to figure out exactly what release it goes with, based on the paint apps.
This one might be easy, actually.
The Jawa Blaster?
Yeah, that's easy. Okay, never mind. Crap. Oh, here we go.
Kylo Ren's lightsaber, specifically from the first release.
I was about to say which one, because
that's the one. That's the one that it's removable. It's the only one that's removable. Hasbro, are you listening to me? You did this for Kylo Ren. You gave him 2 different lightsabers, one that's removable, one that's like solid and built on, and one that's one that's like no blade. That's what I was trying to say. Do that for all the Jedi.
And you know what's funny about this one is they have it like connected like a flame at the top.
Yes. Yeah.
And what I noticed is since they fixed that in following releases, but now that random like 5-pack of like kid type figures.
Yes. Yeah.
That they're doing, it has this exact blade for Kylo Ren.
Does it really?
Yeah, I was looking at it in the store the other day, and I was like, they went back to the original Force Awakens.
Oh man,
release. Like, why didn't they just do the normal saber? But I guess they just thought it looked cooler for kids or something. But Mike, I'm very impressed with you. You did those all on the spot.
I didn't even take too long.
Okay, what about this right here?
Oh, that's the back. That's the alternate really back. That's the alternate backpack for a battle droid that everyone always asks. They're like, "What's this for? I can't fit it on anywhere on the battle droid." Where it's the alternate thing you plug into the back instead of the backpack.
I'm just gonna like grab random accessories all episode, and then it's gonna come up. It's gonna come.
We don't have to do that.
We're gonna do that.
No, we don't have to do that. Oh, so what's first? You wanna? I'm going to thank our Patreon members real quick, and I'm just going to say, because we haven't talked about Patreon in a while. We still have it. We did have someone drop out of the VIP, so there's one open slot. If anyone listening is ever like, I wonder what that's about, it's available if you want to go check it out. That's all. That's it.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a great time on the monthly VIP hangout. So if you want to do one of those with us, you can join, and then you can back out. You can join and stick on it. It's totally up to you. If you just want to do one with us, you can join the VIP. We'll get you on. Then you can drop down to a different tier. Or if you want to join the Patreon in general, that really goes a long way in helping Mike and myself out. And
they just upped the cost of StreamYard.
Yeah. So if you're not a Patreon member, we could really use your support.
I mean, real nice.
Right around this time. So, and I think I have a lot of figures to give away. So I think we should.
Me too. Honestly, we should do a giveaway.
Yeah, we definitely got to play in like a holiday season. We don't need to give away 12 figures again, like we did.
That was a lot. That was too much.
Like we did, I think 2 years ago, or whatever it was at this point.
It was too much. Yeah.
That was a lot, but we can do like maybe 2 figures each or something. So
yeah. Anyway,
we'll do some giveaways.
Keep your peepers posted. We'll have something going on, but I don't want to spend too much time on it. But I do want to thank everyone that joins us each week visually because they're watching us on Patreon. And I do, if you ever want us to like go subscribe to us on YouTube, about a year after the video's been Patreon only, I usually make them live. So we just had, I just made the one with Layered Creations with the Rancor last year public.
That was a great episode.
We had someone comment like I listened to this episode a year ago, but it's so different like seeing it, and it really is like it's a different / I would say better way to experience the podcast if you want to experience the podcast in a with an extra dimension. The visual dimension, yeah,
visually. And then so with that, I say we jump into fine editions. What do you say?
Do it. I don't have much.
In addition to my collection.
Yeah.
We are making. I'll go first real quick because I don't have a ton. I have 2 things. The first one is non-Star Wars. I was at my local comic shop, Pops Comics, which I took you to when you were in town.
You did? I went right next to the sandwich place.
They had this Hound figure for $5.
Oh, I have that.
And I was like, for $5? I mean, I already have like 4 other Game of Thrones figures. So
you gotta be so careful with those. Those are the Funko, back when Funko was trying to make action figures, and they're so brittle. They're so brittle.
Yeah, I have one other one, and they're rough. But I thought the helmet looked cool enough. Like the helmet,
sure it does.
And his sword. Like $5, that's worth it alone.
Yeah, I got really into those. Like my Jaime Lannister fell off the shelf and his arm broke off, so he was screen accurate.
True.
But I got a bunch of those. I really liked them. I just wish that Funko didn't suck at making.
I wish they would do a more like a modern line for Game of Thrones. Like I would be.
I know McFarlane was trying to do that, but
those are bad and like
they're
those
bad.
Are terrible.
They're bad. Terrible. Yeah.
That's why like when people were like, "Oh, Hasbro should sell Black Series or whatever to another company."
Not McFarlane.
Like, not McFarlane, please. Have you seen that? Have you felt those figures? Yeah. Those things are straight ass.
I would be okay with Jada Toys at this point, and that's pretty much it.
Jada Toys, that's. I mean,
I feel like they're the best equivalent to Star Wars,
but like the
Hasbro.
But like I don't think they'd be able to do the global volume.
I don't think so.
You know,
we already have a hard enough time finding Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Well, finding Street Fighter figures is almost impossible. So yeah. And
then my second pickup, I did finally get the. I bought this the day I got the offer, so I was like, I need to go buy myself a treat. So I finally picked up the solo release. Darth Maul.
Did it? Nice.
Which it's kind of frustrating because like whenever you get imbalanced and if he falls over, that lightsaber gets bent so easily.
That's the problem with any double-sided lightsaber. Yeah. There's no good way for it to fall.
Yeah, literally. So it just literally doubles your chances of having a broken lightsaber, which is really unfortunate. So, but I've always agreed with you that we need the lightsabers with, like one version molded with the, blade in and then just the hilt. And like I've always agreed, but I've never been like on board the train as like that's top of my list. Oh, I'm getting to the point with these figures where it's like that's got to be something that we absolutely get to because I've had too many figures at this point, like with bent sabers. Like this Darth Maul's already getting there.
Yeah.
The fifth brother lightsaber hilt was so awful. So. Oh,
for sure. I bought an extra one because they were so cheap, just in case mine broke. So I have an extra one.
Yeah.
It was like $4 or whatever. Speaking of which, you don't have this on the list, but there have been so many cheap Star Wars figures recently, like the $10 Dark Trooper, and just today.
Oh yeah.
Just today, the Return of the Jedi Boba Fett on Best Buy was like $12. Like there's just been, and I've had such a hard time not buying them just because they're cheap. Like I have other things I need to spend money on, or want to spend money on, or should spend money on.
Yeah.
I don't need to be buying excess Star Wars figures just because they're not expensive. Yeah.
It's so hard to pass on, though.
Yeah, I know. Well, especially like a $10 troop builder, like a deluxe troop builder. I mean, I'd buy that just for the flame effects to put in like the Mandalorian jetpacks, stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. But those are my 2 fine additions. So you're
cool.
up.
Yeah, I'm up. So kind of piggybacking on what you just did, I have 2 non-Star Wars things. I'll just get out of the way. I did pre-order these when they came out. I'll just show them at the same time. I did get the
look at that.
Deadpool Wolverine from the Deadpool Wolverine movie. And this is how I have them displayed on my shelf of Deadpool, just kind of like hanging on Wolverine. I think they're good. I think they could be better. I wish Wolverine had bare arms, because when he's got the mask on in the movie, spoiler alert, he didn't have the full sleeves. So I wish it were a little bit more visually accurate like that. But the face is so good. Like the painting, the sculpting, it's amazing.
It's one of the best pure like likenesses that Hasbro's ever done.
Easily. So it's just little nitpicks like that. And then with Deadpool, I kind of just wish he had the gold guns instead of just these black ones. But like he's fine. You know, he's fine. But you know, just standing there together on my shelf. That's what I wanted, and that's what I've got, and they look great. On Tuesday night, nothing crazy was happening, and I wasn't stressed at all. But for absolutely no reason, I decided to pass the time by just opening a bunch of stuff. So I did finally open up my Stap droid, and then the whole new wave of figures. So I have my Darth Maul standing here just like you had yours, but it's not a new edition. I just finally opened it, so I just wanted to kind of point that out.
Yeah, you hopped on live during the election.
I did. I had a live going on for the people that just, you know, wanted to take their mind off stuff and talk about toys, and that's what I did. But I did get 2 new things since last week, and I actually already made a video on them. But I've got the Walmart 2-pack Mandalorians, the Shriek Hawk trainers, and they're good. I made a whole video on it, so if you want to get my full thoughts, they're there. Just some little things. I like them. I do like that his little antenna is broken. It comes that way, so if people open it up and they go like, "Oh no, my Mando antenna is broken," like that's how it comes. It's normal. Someone on my YouTube video asked if this chest on the dude is the same as the one from Paz Vizsla. It is not. It's not even close. Just in case anyone's curious. But the girl, I like the colors. I wish that she could hold her blaster a little bit better. Her hands are a little bit too small for that.
Dang.
But yeah, but other than that, like she looks good. I like her. I like everything. So
yeah, that's
what
cool
I got. It is. It's a fun set. And like I said in the video, if you, even 10 years ago, if you had told me we're going to be getting so many Mandalorians, like action figures, not even action figures, but like stories about Mandalorians. I know we had them in Rebels, but it didn't feel real. But when you see them in live action, I'm like, okay, this feels different. It hits different. And now, you know, I've got a whole shelf of just Mandalorians that were on screen, and I like it. I think it's fun. Yeah.
Yeah, it never really seemed like something that could carry its own TV show and probably be the biggest thing Star Wars has done since Disney bought it. You know, I mean, I know Force Awakens was huge when it came out, but Mandalorian's, I think, by far been the most popular thing they've done. So, you know, globally.
I think overall, globally, I think it's done more for the brand and getting new people into the show. And a lot of those, I've been here forever. Like, I'm one of those guys. I've been a fan since the 90s, you know, back when it was not good. It wasn't considered to be good to be a Star Wars fan. Like, you were a nerd. I welcome new fans. You always need new fans. Like just because someone's new
absolutely.
doesn't mean it's
Yeah.
bad. You always need new fans of something. Otherwise, your fandom dies, and no one wants that.
Yeah, well, let's hope that doesn't happen to Black Series Cantina anytime. So,
Oh, maybe it should. Maybe it should.
yeah, maybe we'll be good at podcasting one of these days. You never know.
No, we have it in 83 episodes. Why would we start now?
Maybe episode 84 will be.
Oh, that's when we start.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's when-
this is all just a warm up.
Yeah, exactly. That's when we really, kick it into high gear.
That's right.
All right, let's jump into some listener emails. We thank you all. We have a really good amount, so let's jump into them. Lane Hickerson says, "Hey y'all, what are your thoughts on Hasbro cutting back on the number of pipelines we get so we can have more surprises? If you've already talked about this, then bonus question: what would your advice be to someone that is thinking about going to ICCCon in the future, and how to make most of their time?"
How apropos of
Right.
today's post. We should just talk about it.
Yeah, I was going to bring it up during this. So, we did talk about that last episode.
We
the
did.
number of pipelines.
Yeah.
I think it could be a good thing, especially it's nice whenever we get those big surprises, which is
Well, so I just we said that last week. We're like, oh yeah, it's gonna be fun to be surprised, and then specifically for the reveals we're gonna talk about today, we were surprised. Like none of us knew about any of those figures, and I don't remember the last time I felt that way. So we'll talk about that when we get into the reveals. But
it was a nice change of pace.
it was a great change of pace for sure.
And but on your second question, how to make the most of your time at ICCCon, if you're thinking about going, well, let's hope there is an ICCCon, because right before we went live, Zoo Boy from Monday Night Figure Ball sent to me that apparently the ICCCon Facebook page posted, and I'll go ahead and read it out. Well, sort of some terrible news, folks. Everything happens for a reason. We will not be returning to the Music City Sheraton. They wanted to raise the room rate $39 on you guys, and then they wanted us to pay them an additional $25,000. I think he already pays them $50 to rent it out. So they wanted to up that $25,000. With us going into our fourth year with the same hotel, just plain wrong for them to hold us over the barrel. Blah 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 blah. He'll work tirelessly to find a new location, and then apparently in the comments, he was saying that it also could potentially not be in Nashville. So we'll have to stay tuned.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would hope if they bring it to Louisville, that would be very convenient. It'd be more convenient for me, for you, for the Out of Basement boys, for pretty much everybody. I know that. Well, I think the only people from Florida were Coffee and Zoo Boy, so it would be more inconvenient for them. But it's another 2.5 hours, so I don't think that would be an issue or anything. But I'm sure they'll keep it around that Tennessee, Nashville area.
I will say, if there's one thing I could change about what we did last time, it would be to get the hotel earlier so we could stay at the place that it is, just so we could feel like we were part of
and
all the festivities afterwards. Like it was like a separate place we had to go.
Sale.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of stuff we could do.
Yeah. I definitely think next year we should definitely try to book it early, so that way,
assuming there is a next year. Yeah.
So that would be our advice: is try your best to stay on site, even though we stayed across the street. It's a quick walk, but at the same time, there's a big ass hill. It can be muddy if it rains, a day or two before or something.
Yeah, you're not talking from personal experience.
No, not at all. So hopefully next time we're in that. Well, I guess it'll be a different hotel, but in the hotel where it's being held. I actually hope it's not held at a hotel. I want them to go bigger. If they go back to the lot they were on last time, it would be. I think that'd be great. Or if they find something similar to that, I think that would be good. But we shall see. Next email is from Mark Karf. Hey, Zach and Mike. Trying to keep the email segment alive. My question is, now that Mr. CV posted about pulling back on the pipelines, since the pipeline started, how many figures have been released versus how many of those figures have been pipelined? Great show, question. Guys. I look forward to every other Thursday. We really appreciate that. Mike, I'm going to throw it to you because I have no idea. So
yeah, I forgot that he asked this, and I didn't. I have it open now. So, assuming there's no more pipelines getting announced, and all what we have is what we have, the only things we have left are from Comic-Con, and that is Kelnaka, from the Acolyte, Moff Gideon, the Dark Trooper, Moff Gideon, Praetorian Guard from the Mandalorian, the Ahsoka Clone Wars Anakin Skywalker, and then the Phase 1 clone Captain Rex. So that's what's been announced that we haven't seen.
Awesome.
But yeah, I mean, like we said in the last episode, I'm excited for the future and not knowing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, being shocked will be like those like sudden.
It was fun.
Instant seeing the actual figure.
Yeah.
Will be pretty cool. All right, next question. This is from Jeff. Sebulba has been revealed. I have heard streamers talking about potential figures we should get around to round off the Phantom Menace line. Queen Amidala, Watto, Captain Panaka are often floated. I haven't heard anyone suggest that we should get the Phantom Menace himself. I feel like a scheming Senator Palpatine in black robes would go hard in the background of a display. Would be different enough from episode 3 and episode 4 versions, right? Hope all is well. Yeah, I agree that we definitely need a normal Senator Palpatine. If I had to pick, it would be just the red robes from episode 3, but I would also 100% back a black robes, a blue robes, a purple robes, whatever else he wears, from the Phantom Menace look. He'd look a little younger in the Phantom Menace, so I guess that might be good too. Honestly, any of them are fine with me. I'm definitely going to buy them.
Yeah, if I had to choose, I would actually want the blue robe, just like Pleatho said, the blue robe Senator Palpatine. And it would be cool if he had soft goods so he could swap between the robes. Like that would be like a fun idea if he could do that.
Oh, yeah.
That would be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of a 2-for-1,
Yeah. I mean, they won't do that because that's why they stopped doing, I mean, let's be honest. That's why they stopped doing the ultimate figures that they were doing when the line started, because they realized they could make more money selling you the same figure with slightly different accessories 20 times rather than one figure with 20 different combinations of accessories.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
They won't do it. They'll make you buy 2 different Palpatines. But I would actually prefer the regular Senator Palpatine.
Next question we have is from Joe Bresh. Hey guys, longtime listener, first time caller. I love listening to new episodes of the Cantina to and from work, and I figured that I would do my part in keeping the emails alive. We really appreciate it. This year filled a lot of holes with all the prequel droid released and that have been announced. What are the biggest holes remaining, in your opinion, from each trilogy that you can't believe they haven't made yet? They've been pretty good with the sequels, but never got Poe right. I would still like a good Rise of Skywalker Poe. Prequels still need Newt Gunray. As much as I want a Lobot or Weequay, I want a 9-nub even more for the original trilogy. Although I would also take a Max Rebo 3-pack or, of course, a Rancor. I'll come up with a bit of a better question next time, but thought that would be a good start. It
was a great question.
Yeah, I look forward to listening every other week, and I'm highly entertained. Thank you for covering all things Star Wars and Black Series. Hey, that's a great email. Yep. We really, really appreciate that. So I actually think, I guess it depends if we're going on figures that haven't ever been released versus what we need upgraded. Because I feel like we're at the point in the line where every figure is so good, because yes, there's characters we need from the prequels. And I know I've said this 1,000 times, but I genuinely believe the prequel is still the biggest hole is a good episode 3 and episode 3 Anakin and Obi-Wan, because the figures are so good now, and those 2 figures specifically are so bad. Yeah. But without saying those, I guess we can each do a prequel one, and then we can each do one for the trilogy. So what's your biggest hole for the prequels?
Oh, I think Watto right now is probably my biggest hole. He's in the first 2 movies. He's pretty significant for there, and he's a fun alien. I mean, there's a lot, so it's really hard to choose just one. Yeah. But if I had my druthers, if I could wave a wand and have them do it, it would be Watto.
Yeah. If I'm going on new characters, I think the biggest hole for the prequels is the Queen Amidala with the red robe.
With the red robe, yeah.
It's such an iconic look for the character. You see that and you just think of Star Wars prequels that launched the prequels, Phantom Menace. It's such an iconic look. I think that's probably the biggest hole of characters we haven't gotten.
Sure,
I think the redos we need are such big holes.
I agree with you. It's kind of in a way like it's good. I feel like there's so many holes because like it's better that they're making some of these wanted characters now rather than 10 years ago because they weren't great. Like this Darth Maul is so much better than the Darth Maul from the first wave. Like it's not even funny. It's not even a comparison of how good it is. And I'd wish that I just had that. Like I wish there wasn't one. Paragon Fuzz, absolutely Ben Quadraneros HasLab with his quad pod racer.
So biggest hole in the OT. That's a tough one. Because I feel like they've covered a ton.
Yeah.
I feel like I kind of want to say the was it the Death Star Trooper? No, the Death Star Gunner. But at the same time, like that's just a trooper, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe like Garindin or really there's not a huge gaping hole, I don't feel like.
I feel like so for me, it's always looking at what they've released and what can be a companion piece for it. So I think Nine Numb is a good option because we do have that General Lando and they're paired together, so it would make sense to have that.
There's also a Rancor size hole beneath our Jabba set.
It's in my heart.
Yeah,
the Rancor size hole is in my heart.
Yeah. I almost posted a picture of the Rancor, like where the number, like the picture where the number is almost at that 8,000 or whatever, or 9,000, and then it's like 500 short. Like the bar is there, but on the election night, I almost posted that picture and said,
"No."
I almost posted and said, "I haven't seen a country this divided since this happened."
No,
but then I was like, "I'm going to hold off. I'm not going to post."
No, it's not worth it.
I thought it'd be funny though, but I was like, it's not worth it. I'm not going to do it. And then for the sequels, honestly, we do need a good Poe, but
there's so many.
There's so many holes. If I had to pick, it'd be the Palpatine from the end, like the undead version where he gets the life force and or like the dead version. Like that would be a cool figure too. That's probably my biggest one. Honestly, I take that back. Crate Luke, not even close.
Crate Luke,
not even close.
I mean, can I take yours too, or
yeah, you can take it. Okay. Yeah, you can expand on that.
It's no, you can have it. Mine was going to be, I can't choose between Poe or Finn from episode 9. Like it's stupid that we have Rey from it, but no Poe or Finn. Like, come on.
Yeah. But it's also kind of weird that the only Luke we have from the sequels is the outfit we saw him in for 4 seconds at the end of Force Awakens.
And then
a quick scene.
A quick scene at the beginning of, that's it. You're right. There's better outfits. There's outfits he's wearing longer. A Force Ghost version of that one would be okay.
Yeah, honestly, that wouldn't be terrible. Maybe a 2-pack with Leia or something.
Yeah, that'd be fun. A little Force Ghost Luke and Leia. That'd be fun.
Throw a Hayden in for good, just the family, just because.
Put Han Solo in there. Why not?
Right. Thanks for the question, Joe. We really appreciate it. All right, next question is from Graydon Durant. Hello, Mike and Zach. First, I just want to thank you for the hard work you put in. Hold on, I lied. He says for the work you put, not hard work. I threw that in there. I'm fabricating at this point.
Yeah.
First, I just want to thank you for the work you put into producing the Black Series Cantina. I'm a medical student, and I spend a lot of time stressing out over homework and exams and such. Your podcast provides such a nice break for my brain while I listen and decompress a bit. That's awesome. We appreciate it. Secondly, my most wanted figure in the line recently is Newt Gunray. Oh, that's another good hole for the prequels.
It's a big hole.
I feel like he's such a huge hole in the prequel lineup, and I think he would be an amazing shelf presence with his cool alien face.
We could do all the Nemoidians, honestly. Like Akko, Lot Dodd. Like, why not?
Just the ones from Acolyte.
Yeah.
Those are. I'm hoping that if you guys are also interested in getting him and mentioning it on your podcast, maybe Hasbro will give it some thought. We both definitely want a Newt Gunray. I think most prequel fans that collect Black Series would line up for a Newt Gunray. And, we're going to talk about it a little later, but I mean, they literally just announced a Sebulba, so there's nothing is off the table at this point.
I agree.
But
No, and
we'll go harder on that a little
Newt's
later.
a big one because he's in all 3 prequel movies. Like and it's not just a small scene. Like he's got lines in all 3 movies. Mm-hmm. So he's a big one for sure.
And then Graydon continues to ask, I want to bring up an old question that you've been asked a long time ago, but I'd be curious to hear your answers now that some time has passed. If Hasbro announced that the line was ending, what are the last 5 to 10 figures you would want them to make? Thanks again. Ooh, so do we need to do our last 10 again, like an updated last 10 to see what's come off since we've done it?
I mean, I don't. This would be like another whole episode kind of thing.
I'm saying I think we can tack it on to like a discussion for next podcast. We can just make it.
Yeah, I'd want to think about it again because I don't even remember what I said last time.
Yeah, I would want to pull up my PDF or the thing I made, the little slideshow. So, all right. So here's what we'll do.
I will say Bespin Leia is on it for sure.
Yeah, Little Leia is still on mine because it's a gaping hole from the Kenobi show. So. So yeah, let's put a pin in that one, and then we'll make that its own like episode topic because we gotta. But thanks you for the recommendation. We'll definitely do that here soon. And then we got one more email from Sam Govan. Thank you very much. Hey guys, it has sure been a great time to be a Black Series fan. I can't wait to hear your thoughts on the new reveals the last couple of weeks. If we only get one more figure from each of Disney era shows for Hasbro to make, what would you choose? Oh, wow. All right.
It's another one of those.
So I'll read them off and then we'll do ours. He said mine would be Mandalorian would be Peli Moto. So what would be your Mandalorian if you only could do one more Mando figure? And there is a Book of Boba Fett here also. So it's like you don't have to pick one just from the Mandoverse. It's like the specific show. So...
I mean, I hate to say it, but I think Pelimoto's a pretty big one, and I did not like Pelimoto. I hated her, but somewhere along the way, I love her now, and I don't know when that happened. I don't know why it happened, but I can't say anyone but Pelimoto at this point. We have her droids. We have her droids.
We literally do have her droids. Now that we're getting the armored Moff Gideon. I can't really think of anyone else. I mean, honestly, like Pelimoto is, but like who else?
That or an armor with a backpack? Like an armor with a jetpack?
Yeah. But we have the armor.
We already have the armor,
So I don't want to be boring and just be like another randomly colored Mandalorian from the background, you know?
Carson Teva.
Yeah, there we go. That's perfect. Because we have the Dave Filoni figure, so we need the Carson Teva.
Yep. That like maybe like a Deborah Chow as well. So we have like that little flight group of X-Wing squads / directors.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for
Carson
sure.
Teva. Yeah.
From the Bad Batch, he said his would be Kaminoan Prime Minister Lama Su. From Bad Batch, I'm gonna go. That's a good one.
Mine's gonna be was it Hemlock?
That's who I was trying to think of. Hemlock. Yeah. He's probably the best villain from that show, in my opinion.
Easily. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going with Hemlock as well. Next one is Andor. It's he said his was Kino Loy. Mine is the general in the white. You know, the guy that was also in Game of Thrones. I just don't know his name.
Yeah.
He was Deidre's boss, essentially.
Yeah.
Oh, Keller and Beck's a good one. We didn't say
Keller and Beck is a good one. Pletho,
for Mando.
For sure. For Mando.
Yeah, I'm going Keller and Beck. Nope. Sorry, I'm going the Deidre's boss, the guy in the white. Whatever his name is.
For Andor.
What a suit!
I'm gonna do Cinta to go with the other girl that I can't remember the name of.
Oh,
Vel.
Sartha. Yeah.
Yeah. So I want a Cinta to go with Vel. That's what I want.
And then Kenobi, Young Leia is mine. Young Leia is what Sam put as well.
For sure. You know what? No, I want an Uncle Owen.
Oh, good pick. Good pick on the Uncle Owen. Book of Boba Fett. He says Mayor McCheese.
Mayor McCheese.
Yeah, honestly, the Rancor. Is the Rancor an option? Because that would be fabulous.
100%.
But if it's not,
Definitely.
then maybe like a Pike without the face mask would be cool.
And we need a Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. With the black tights, the best version.
With the tights, the best version.
Yeah, the one that TVC has, and it looks great.
Yeah.
I think this one's easy. He's the Acolyte, Stranger, for sure. That's
easily.
As well.
Yeah, the Stranger.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
He also agrees with me. Tales of the Jedi is the Dooku. The young Dooku. That's my pick, like with a black beard. That or like a young Qui-Gon, I think. But young Qui-Gon, I feel like you need a young Count Dooku, like a Jedi.
I'd want the Dooku. Inquisitor.
The bird-looking one.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good pick, too. That actually does kind of fit in more with everything else we have on the shelf, rather than being like a separate time from history that we don't really have anything else from. So that does make sense.
Yeah, because they can fit in with all your other Inquisitors just fine.
Yeah. And then Tales of the Empire, he put Inquisitor Barriss. Which
I would say no.
Yeah, I can't really like Tales of the Empire. I mean,
I have a hard time thinking about all the different
characters from
it. Oh, it's. I feel like there was less happening in it. Like it was because it was just the two stories.
Yeah, so those shows are so focused too. Yeah. So it's hard to. But yeah, I guess I'd agree. The Inquisitor Barriss would be cool.
You know what? I'm gonna say Rook. Thrawn's little Nogri guy.
Oh yeah, I forgot he was even in that.
He was in that. Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah. And then he goes on to say, I know there were some wild suggestions in there, but I'd love to hear what you guys think. Thanks and best wishes. Hey, we appreciate he said, I forgot one. Ahsoka. Zombie Death Trooper with broken open helmet.
Oh.
From the Ahsoka show.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like Ezra is the obvious one, but I know that was leaked, so we kind of know we're getting it probably. I think the zombie Death Trooper is a pretty.
What about those little like characters that?
The little turtle crab
little
guys,
alien
right?
people.
Yeah.
But that wouldn't be like if I had to get one more figure from.
No.
It'd probably be the same one, the Ezra.
I think Ezra is the big character
or the zombie
that's missing.
Death Trooper.
Yeah,
would be cool. And I think he is probably the only main. We have everybody else, right?
That or a Jason.
A Jason Solo.
A little Jason. Yeah. It's not Jason Solo.
Oh, Jason. Yeah. What am I?
Syndulla. Or is it Jason Doom or Jason Syndulla? I guess it's.
I think it's Syndulla. Yeah, it's Syndulla. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you all for the emails. That is all of them. If you want to shoot us an email and keep the segment alive, it is blackseriescantina@gmail.com. And then, and with that, we can jump into some news. So, Mike, we had the GameStop 3-pack, Phantom Menace 3-pack has been delayed for a second time to November 11th.
And I don't care because I'm not getting it.
Yeah, I canceled mine.
Yeah.
I just felt like it ended up not being super worth it. But if it ever goes on a sale,
I might. If it goes on sale or clearance, or if there's a good sale on it, I might pick it up. But I just for $70, which is a good deal if you need 3 figures, because it's less than the price of 3 figures.
Well, I think the retail is $74.99. Right.
Oh,
but if you have the Pro, it's
I have the Pro and using the $5 coupon or whatever, like But I just I don't need to buy those figures again just to get the robes. Because that's not how I'm going to display them anyway. I'm going to display them on my shelf fighting, which they weren't wearing the robes for in the first place. So But if you don't have those figures, like if you never got the Obi-Wan or the Qui-Gon,
that's a great set.
It's a great buy for sure.
Yeah. And then, so somehow, Gift of the Galaxy has returned.
which is the title of the episode.
Yeah, I saw you put that earlier, so I had to throw that in there. But yeah, Gift of the Galaxy is coming back, which means every week we'll get some reveals, whether it's not exactly a Black Series reveal. I'm sure we'll get 1 or 2 usually, but sometimes it could be a Black Series helmet, it could be a TVC figure, it could be a lunchbox, it could be a sweatshirt. You never know what it could be, but it's going to be some type of Star Wars drop. We get Black Series figures usually a couple times. So
these seem to be Amazon focused from Yak Face's post. Like it's all going to be Amazon.
Oh, neat. So it'll be easy to order, easy to get. So everybody just follow the Instagram, follow the TikTok, follow Yak Face on Instagram. They'll be all over the socials whenever those are announced.
Yeah.
And then, so there is actually a maybe leak, maybe fake. We're not 100% sure, but it's probably a leak.
It's tough to say. Yeah.
The effort to go into this seems like a lot for it to not be real. So I'm going to share my screen. And this was posted in the Out of the Basement Discord right before we went live, which is awesome. So perfect timing. But this is a Phase 1 Clone Trooper and Super Battle Droid Attack of the Clones 2-pack. When, it's that PFP box that's a really tiny box that you just barely squeeze the figures into that they've been doing. But assuming this is real, because it looks real to me, it looks pretty legit. This is a good choice, for an army building 2-pack if you don't have these yet, or if you want to keep army building them. I just kind of wish we'll get a normal silver Super Battle Droid with that rocket arm that came in the 3-pack with those, was it Jedi Survivor droids?
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, so I'm sure this will be announced at some point, but just like a new leak. And it was like put on there with zero context whatsoever. Literally, like the guy posted it and hasn't.
It was just a picture. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think people were replying like, "Where'd this come from? Like, is there any info on this?" And it's just radio silence.
I tend to believe it. The box is very convincing. It's and this could be a reveal the galaxy or gift the galaxy reveal.
Yeah, it could be
like easily. Because it seems when they're in the box like this, they could be pretty far along. However, I will say. I don't know. I don't think I can get in trouble for saying this, but when I was hanging out with Dan a couple weeks ago, he had gotten a package from Hasbro with a bunch of G.I. Joe stuff in it. And in it was the Nemesis Immortal figure, which they hadn't really officially announced. It was one of those things like everyone knew was coming because leaks had happened and stuff. But he got one in the box, and I was playing with it, and then last week or with one of the, I think the 1027, they officially revealed it. It went for order. It wasn't even a pre-order. It was just in stock. People could buy it. But Dan was talking to Lenny and said the one Dan got, even though it was in a box and packaging and stuff, it was probably an earlier, like not prototype, but like not a final version. So I did not know that they would even bother to put stuff in packages unless it was the final version. So this could be something still in development for sure.
Like
yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Yeah.
That they would even take the time to box it if it wasn't just a, I guess it would just like a test run.
I mean, they have to have test runs, I guess. Yeah. Like it would make sense. It would make sense that they do that. I just didn't even think about like, in my head, if it's in a package, how would they have gotten that far unless it was like ready to go? But I guess it wouldn't, which makes sense.
And what's funny about this picture is it's not like in a factory or anything. It has like the floor trim to it. Let's just look like somebody's house.
It looks like someone's house. Yeah.
Yeah. Like so or this is either an office building. Yeah. But most office buildings I feel like doesn't have this, trim piece on the floor. At least ones I've been in. Not that I would think, but this just looks like somebody's house, which is kind of odd. So if you're, listening to this and you haven't heard of this, I posted it on Instagram, so go check it out. And then check out the Out of the Basement Discord.
If it's not real, we all blame Mr. Coffee.
Oh, absolutely. 1,000%. We just got to blame Mr. Coffee for that. So
throw Mr. Coffee under the bus. But if it is real, I'm getting it. Even though I already have those, like it's a fun release.
I mean, might as well.
Yeah. And I was just thinking about this the other day. Like it's crazy how we went from no Super Battle Droids to now we've got like options for Super Battle Droids and like a pretty relatively quick
Yeah,
span
pretty
of time.
quick span.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had multiple releases of it, which is nice. We just need that rocket arm on a plain silver one.
Right.
So that's what we need. All right. So now, speaking of stuff that is real, 100% real, and has been revealed and is now ready for pre-order, we know we're a little late to the game because they came
It's
out.
old news now.
Yeah, we know nobody wants to read yesterday's papers, but you don't have a choice. We're talking about the reveals from 1027 and MCM London
MCM,
Comic Con.
yeah.
So first, let's talk about Savage Press, and this figure is an absolute beauty. Mike, the fact that we got both weapons is crazy, and I couldn't be more excited.
So this was the lone 1027 reveal for Black Series. I am, like you said, super excited about it. We knew it was coming. Like, if you were paying attention, following the show, this existing isn't a surprise because we saw basically the body. We never saw the head, as far as I know, but the body was pictured on a factory
later.
floor. Yeah, okay.
We got a gray, just an unpainted. That
an
was
unpainted head.
Yeah, that was way after the original release, though.
But until you see the final versions, and for me, it never really hits. Like, it's hard to get excited for it. When they showed it final, this is the figure, this is the head, this is the paint, and the fact that it comes with both weapons, and the lightsaber is like, it doesn't break apart. It's one solid piece. I am so excited for this. Like, absolutely over the moon. And then excited.
Now we can actually see all the detail on the shoulder pads, like all the sculpted detail where you see the cracks in the armor, which is a really awesome look.
No reuse here. Everything's new. I think I've seen a lot of people complain about it being deluxe. I think that this, just like Darth Malgus, I think that this is worthy of a deluxe. I really do.
Oh, absolutely. And I couldn't care less. Like, I'm paying whatever they want for this figure. So, I'm sorry, call me a shill, but at this point, when it comes to certain figures, I do not care. I'm going to have it in my collection one way or another. So
I do wish, like always, I wish we had some extra hands. Like,
yeah, like an extra like force grip hand, like force token hand would be perfect on Savage. But the fact that we got the staff because we all expected the lightsaber.
Sure.
But I remember us talking about, like, are they going to do two versions? One with the saber, one with the staff. But the fact that we got both is
for those that don't know, he used the staff first in the Clone Wars cartoon, and then he got a saber later. So we got both versions, which is awesome.
Yep, and he is available for pre-order pretty much everywhere. I don't know, I couldn't
he's
tell you.
He's sold out on Pulse. I don't know if he's back up, but he did sell out on Pulse.
Yeah, but I'm sure that he's still up on Entertainment Earth, and Big Bad, and
it's not Pulse exclusive.
Toy Snowman, I'm sure has it. So
to me, it's just nice to know that, like, a figure I like and I'm excited for is also popular with other people. So I'm not just living in a bubble,
Yeah.
Where like there's other people that are also equally excited for this figure.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. But yeah, this is probably one of the cooler reveals in a long time.
Yeah, it is still sold out on Pulse.
That's
fun. Yeah,
that's a good sign. Prequel stuff selling out. That's what we need. That's exactly what we need. And then the next reveal, Sebulba has been revealed in the Black Series. And I never thought I would utter those words, which is actually crazy.
He looks so damn good. Just so good.
Yeah. Incredible. Like, the details on the paint, like on the middle of the head where it's kind of red, like skin, fleshy, then it has the purple, then it goes out to the, that skin color that he has. Like, it's incredible. It's so good.
They got him in his pod racing outfit, which I like. Like, I think you were going to say he's got his helmet, which is a big deal.
Yep. He's got the helmet. He's got the little creature to snack
He's got his
on.
little frog thing. Yeah, that Jar Jar, like, threw at him accidentally with his tongue.
So, yeah, this is a great release. And kind of what I was going to mention earlier, but wanted to go a little more into detail now. With Sebulba being released and announced, I don't really think there's a Black Series or a Star Wars character out there that's at least played a good part in a movie that's off the table now.
I agree.
Like certain like background characters are, like unfortunately, like a lot of Cantina aliens are probably off the table because they pop up and they're gone. But if a character actually has words and lines, like there are some characters that you just never thought we would get in the Black Series being a character focused line and not something that's, to build out a scene. Like you would think Sebulba would make more sense in TVC because you could get the pod racer and then you can do the entire scene. But now if like a character speaks, like has a good amount of dialogue, I don't think they're off the table at all. Like there's a lot of characters we can get now, in my opinion, because this figure has been announced. Like the door is wide open for Black Series now, which is very exciting going forward.
Absolutely. Like we were said at the beginning, this is one of those, we had no idea it was coming. There were no hints. There was no leaks. There was nothing. It was just boom, Sebulba. I'm just like, what? Like, that's nuts. Like the other two reveals we'll get to, they were still surprising, the fact that we didn't know about them. But they're also popular figures that I assume, at some point they'll get around to doing them. But like, this is one of those that I just never thought they would actually do. I didn't. It's from a movie that historically is not popular.
Other Phantom Menace alien, Jar Jar, apparently didn't sell well. It went clearance everywhere.
Yeah. Well, and so people don't remember this, but part of the reason why it took us so long to get anything from Phantom Menace outside of Darth Maul was because Hasbro historically just hasn't had good luck or good success with Phantom Menace characters. Just the prequels in general, they tended to shy away from, with the exception of the popular stuff like Obi-Wan, Anakin, and like Clone Troopers, just because of that stigma that has been around the prequels for so long. And I know a lot of revisionist history likes to pretend that it doesn't exist, but it very much did. So to me, it's nice. It's like we're healing. It's like the plant's growing back after a fire. I'm excited.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this one it's amazing. And there was somebody on TikTok that posted, they were talking about it and they're like, it doesn't look like it has knee joint or elbow joints. And I had to comment. I was like, it definitely does. It absolutely does.
The hands are their arms are double jointed. The little arm leg things.
Yeah, because
they have
wrist. Yeah,
they're double jointed. They're jointed at what would be the knee, and then there's also an elbow on that same thing.
Yeah. So this is an incredible release. Nothing's off the table now in Black Series.
For sure. Yeah.
But Pletho puts in here Dexter Jetster, and it's like, okay, maybe you got me.
I don't know. I hope so. If they do a Dexter Jetster, that means that Pong Krell's not off the table. So.
Oh, I think Pong Krell's very much on the table.
If Pong Krell's on the table, then Dexter Jetster's on the table. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, you're not wrong there. You're not wrong there.
It's like when they did, as soon as they did the Ithorian from Galaxy's Edge, whatever.
Oh yeah,
Doc Ondar.
Whenever
they did Doc Ondar, like Memo Naden's coming. Mm-hmm. He's coming, and that's why a guest like Mayor McCheese, like there's not much they have to do. They've already got the general sculpt there. They just got to tweak it.
So when are they going to do the Bith Lord?
Who knows?
Now since we've had the Cantina banned for a while, we need the Bith Lord in there. I'm in. I'm sure we'll get I'm sure we'll get some publishing line. Crazy Sith Bith. That'd be pretty sick. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, on that same vein, we've got Ayla Sakura. When's Darth Talon coming?
Honestly, yeah. Hey, I'm down for a Darth Talon, man.
Yeah, all right.
All right, we're doing the double fist. Yeah, we're doing the audio.
That's right.
No, I don't think anybody listening to the audio knows about the double fist, but
absolutely not.
But yeah, speaking of like characters that are like, if we're talking about this a little further, like characters that are on the table, like if you think about recent Black Series history, we've gotten a Joris Sabayoth, and I have no idea if I said that incorrectly or correctly.
No, so I'm actually currently re-listening to the audiobooks just because it's been like 20 years since I listened to them or read them or whatever. And that's how you say it, Joris Sabayoth.
Okay, you taught me well.
So stupid.
You taught me well.
Yeah.
But like Joris Sabayoth, the Luke, you know, like nothing is off the table, and it's just the best time to be a fan and collector of the Black Series.
I agree.
The future is bright. The line is not dying. I mean, unless Hasbro gets rid of the Star Wars license, which you never know. But, you know, fingers crossed they never do, at least in the near future.
Can I have a little tangent before we move on?
Yeah. Go ahead.
So when we went to go meet, okay, hold on. Lance Peter Luke says the excitement of these reveals convinced me that the pipeline should die. I fully agree. I do. The problem with the pipeline, I think we said this, we touched on it last time, is that the pipeline became the exciting thing because that's what was coming next. Like the reveals we got, we already knew we were getting because of the pipeline. So the reveals stopped being exciting and the pipeline is what became exciting. And if you take away the pipeline, then the reveals go back to being exciting. Mm-hmm. So I 100% agree.
And real quick on that before,
go ahead.
Go.
Yeah.
I remember whenever I was talking to a source, they said part of the reason they did so many pipelines is because they wanted to beat Yak and other, like news.
Sure, they didn't want their thunder taken. Yeah.
And, but also like, I just hope now that they're not doing as many pipelines, we've been getting so many leaks, like from China specifically, like factory leaks. I really hope that kind of stops. Like leaks are cool and they're good for content, especially like TikTok daily content and everything. But I think to be really surprised, they need to stop the factory leaks. Like they need to shore that up.
I agree.
They're not off to a hot start because we just got this 2-pack that looks like it's leaked.
Yep.
Who knows where that got leaked from. So we'll see what ends up happening with that. But that's just a quick thing I threw in there, so you can go ahead now.
No, well, the only thing I was going to point out was, back to ICC Con, we were meeting Timothy Zahn, and I went up to him and I told him like I was obsessed with peppermint hot chocolate for a long time because in his book Luke Skywalker drank peppermint hot chocolate, and Timothy Zahn goes, actually, I think it was just regular hot chocolate. Here I am today listening to Dark Force Rises, which is the second book. What does Luke Skywalker order? Hot chocolate with mint. Okay. So I mean, there is another scene where he does order just a regular hot chocolate in the first book. In the second book, he orders a peppermint hot chocolate. So I was right.
One up on him. Yeah.
I was right. Suck it, Timothy Zahn. Also, I know it's not Timothy Zahn's fault, but it's really hard to listen to these books and / read these stories because so much of the stuff, like, and it's like little details that he threw in there. I'm like, this is wrong, because it was before like the prequel trilogy. Yeah, because like even the things like dates that are wrong. Like they make it seem like the Empire's been around forever. I'm like, the Empire was around for like 20 years. Like, it just, it wasn't forever, so it's just one of those things. Cause there wasn't a hammered down detail of how long ago the Empire became the Old Republic or the Old Republic became the Empire. Like there wasn't a hammered down date of like what the Clone Wars was and when it was and how long it lasts. It was only a 3-year war. It wasn't like a 20-year war or whatever. But so there's just all this little stuff in the books where I'm like, it takes me out of it because I'm like, nope, that's not right. Nope, that's not right. This character wouldn't act like this because of the way they acted in the prequels, stuff like that. Yeah. Like C-3PO doesn't like Lando in these books. I'm like, why wouldn't he? C-3PO's stupid. He likes everybody. But it's just one of those things. Like that's a little tangent I wanted to get on because I was just reading that today and I felt super vindicated.
Yeah, you own
that. I was right. Yeah.
That actually reminds me, in college, I had a friend and we were hanging out. Him, my cousin, and me were just hanging out in my dorm room. And he asked me, he was like, wasn't the Empire around for like 1,000 years or something? And I was like,
nope.
No, in between episode 3 and 4, it's literally like 19 years or something.
Yeah.
He was like, are you serious? It's not a really long time? I'm like, no, it's literally just like 19 or 18 years.
It's 19 years specifically. Yeah.
So, it is kind of funny. Some people do, like the casuals think that there's all this time, in between.
Yeah. Anyways, what's the next reveal?
Next reveal, we have Luminara Unduli.
Yeah.
Prequel Jedi came out of absolutely nowhere. And the details on the soft goods on this is really incredible.
Real good.
They did an excellent job on this one. This was an instant pre-order, of course. But now, that we have Luminara, a Barris has to be...
we need a Barris, for sure.
Well on the way, right?
Yep.
You think?
Yep. What's funny is like a day, maybe the night before, maybe a day before, on a Facebook group, someone was like, do we know when we're getting a Luminara? and my response to them was like, literally nobody in here works for Hasbro. Like, why would anyone know that? Mm-hmm. And like a day later, this got announced, and I was like, damn, what the heck?
That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. And I think I'll go ahead and bring up the next one because they kind of do go together.
They go
Shakti
together.
was also revealed, which is very cool. And the details on the head sculpt, like the paint on the head is amazing. And then, comboed with the soft goods, like that piece down the middle in between her legs, is incredible. The design on that. But 2 prequel Jedi that, appear in Attack of the Clones. Now,
my only complaint.
Yeah,
my only complaint. Neither of them look like they can store their lightsaber.
Ooh, yeah. Where would lightsaber storage be?
So Shakti has a little nubbin on hers, so it looks like it could.
It looks like it plugs in.
Oh, it looks like it plugs in right there. I see.
So
yeah, you're right.
The belt should have a hole somewhere. I would imagine. But with Luminara, would the belt...
I don't think her lightsaber has a nubbin, so I don't think it can plug into anything.
Yeah, I only have... I'm going to go through every picture here on just my computer and see...
And I know it's such a like a little complaint, but I really don't like it when a Jedi can't store their lightsaber away, because like they don't carry them around all the time. They don't just have them in their hand. I prefer to display them without. So if they do fall, they don't break.
Yeah. So it does look like Luminara definitely has one. Or no, sorry, Shakti definitely has one.
Yeah.
Luminara, from the pictures we've gotten, it does not have one. It looks like it does not have. So that's unfortunate. They did the thing with, because they haven't done that since that Mace Windu, that Clone Wars Mace Windu. But they released that one like 3 times, like 3 different versions of Mace Windu. But one of them has no spot on the belt but a peg hole, and then the other one has a peg hole but no spot on the belt or whatever it was. But yeah, Luminara and no saber storage, which is...
So it looks like. I also am curious about what like body construction they're using. I have a feeling it's going to be both of them are going to be on that same like Ayla Sakura, which is just it's the General Holdo, Vice Admiral Holdo body is what it is, and they've used it for so many different, like Ayla Sakura. That tends to be like the go-to female body, other than the Jaina Solo one.
Yeah, can we tell by the boots there?
They look, I think it's hard to tell, but I just have a feeling. I have a feeling that they're both going to be.
Yeah, those boots look the same. Like her
they
boots,
do. They do.
Ayla's, or not Ayla, but Shakti and Luminar, the boots do.
Yeah,
exactly
they look like they're going to have the same legs as Ayla Sakura.
Yeah, and that
which isn't a deal breaker. It's just
at least like the important stuff looks great.
Yes.
So hopefully
the soft goods look great. The paint looks great. Yeah, absolutely.
It won't be a traffic cone, which is nice because it is all soft goods.
True.
I know Luke's probably throwing up, right now, looking at all these soft goods. But 2 prequel Jedi, now that we're talking about characters that aren't off the table, there's probably no prequel Jedi that's off the table at this point. Really any of them. And I think hopefully, so Shakti's number 8 and Luminara's number 7. Hopefully, 9, 10, 11, 12 in Attack of the Clones line, we get a ton more Jedi.
Now that we have this Luminara, we need?
Varys?
No, dead Luminara from Rebels.
Oh, yeah. So we need Luke to 3D print like the dead the little coffin or sarcophagus.
Yeah,
whatever
the
they
little
have her
coffin
in,
she's in when you like a dead face. Yeah.
with the clear.
That was such like a
Art.
dark episode.
I know. Yeah, that was sick. I forgot all about that. Yeah, that gets really dark really quick. But very excellent reveals. All these were instant pre-orders for me, and I know for you, Mike, as well.
Oh yeah, easily.
Yeah, so that's the reveals. We have not a whole lot to discuss, but there was a report by, I think Deadline had it first, that there's a new Star Wars trilogy in the works. They officially signed, I don't know the guy's name. What was his name that they did?
Simon something. He's guys.
He did Rebels,
X-Men
right?
Stuff. Did he?
He did Rebels with Dave and...
Okay, well, if that's true, then there's hope. But here's my problem. They've just announced so many movies, and none of them have come out.
Yeah.
So far, the only one they've announced that's definitely 100% coming out is the Mandalorian and Grogu movie.
Yeah.
That's it.
It was already reported that the Rey movie is having issues.
Yes.
You know, like that was a couple months ago.
I think we talked about it on our little chill chat earlier. Like they should just shadow drop a movie.
Here's episode 10.
Yeah, something like that. Just like, hey, like tickets go on sale today and the movie comes out, next month. Here's a trailer. And like, that would be awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be pretty wild. Like, that's how they should have done the Mando movie. Like, oh, next month, Mando and Grogu's coming out. Go to your theaters.
I know it's Star Wars, so hiding it is going to be so hard because there's always people that snoop at the stuff. There's people on set that will leak stuff. Like, like it's not possible to do, and I fully understand that. But there's got to be some kind of difference, like somewhere in the middle of announcing a movie and then a couple months later having it fall through and releasing a movie. Like, there's somewhere in between there that they can find a medium for. I'm just tired of it at this point, and I don't want to be. I want to be excited for the announcement of a new Star Wars movie, but Rogue Squadron or whatever, nothing. The Patty Jenkins movie, the
Taika Waititi,
Waititi movie,
the Ryan Johnson trilogy,
the Game of Thrones guys trilogy. Obviously, which none of those are happening at this point.
I mean,
there's
even
nothing.
Even movies that have came out went. They fight the Solo movie.
Yeah,
they had to. Apparently, it's reported that that's one of the most expensive movies ever made because they basically had to redo like 80% of it.
Most of the movie, yeah.
So because it's basically you had to film it twice, and then especially like the returns on it weren't great to begin with.
Yeah.
So now that you basically had to film 2 movies to make one that didn't do well, like they were. Disney was not happy about that,
which sucks because I like that movie. It's not my favorite Star Wars movie, but it's a perfectly enjoyable movie.
It's at least it's a fun movie. Like,
it is.
It's a fun movie.
Yeah.
And then, but yeah, like so, I don't want to be one of those people, like those YouTube grifters that are always like,
yes,
Kathleen Kennedy needs to be fired.
No.
But I will say at some point, if you're having this much trouble getting a movie out, it might get to the point where it might be better off if somebody else does take charge. I will say that.
That'd just do better. Just do better. I don't know.
Yeah. But I mean, if we're repeating the same
about it, yeah, I agree.
For so long, and I've never been in the camp of like, because Kathleen Kennedy does a lot of good stuff, like Mandalorian,
sure,
Rogue One, Force Awakens. Like, there's a lot of really good stuff, like under her reign in Lucasfilm. But at some point, it is kind of be like, I wouldn't mind if someone else took over because these movies, they just can't get one made, and we'll see what happens. And we've had too many TV shows that are. Like, have we had too many TV shows that have underwhelmed or, not been as popular or whatever?
Well, it's weird. The difference now between now and then is the internet. Like the prequels weren't super well received. It's just that George Lucas didn't care, and they were still making money. And there was that 3 years in between, which I really do think made all the difference because, like episode 1 came out, it wasn't poorly received, but it wasn't super well received by the fandom, but it made a lot of money. And by the time episode 2 came out, there's nothing in between. Like there's no shows, there's no constant hammering
Just
of Star
toys,
Wars.
really.
Toys, maybe the odd book and comic book and video game, but like most people kind of ignore that stuff. And it's really there's a movie, and then by the time 3 years later comes by, you're kind of like, even if it might not be as good as you think it should be, like you still are excited for a new Star Wars movie. So I think having that grace period in between, that cool off period in between, coupled with the fact that there wasn't a culture of constant negativity towards it, coupled with the fact that George Lucas honestly didn't care about all the negativity. Like he was just going to make the movie that he wanted to make. And that was it. Like he didn't, you know. So I think all of that, it's a different landscape than it is today. Because let's be honest, a lot of the stuff that these people complain about, the grifters and whatnot, all that stuff they're complaining about is found in the other movies. Like there's nothing new. There's nothing different. All these, and that's the things I always like to point out. It's like, why are you mad at this when it also happened, here previously? Why are you mad now when it didn't bother you back here?
Yeah.
What's different now? And now it's just because that's the thing to do.
And they're never going to stop because
they're never going to
stop. The clicks. Yeah.
It gets the clicks, and the culture of rage bait. And I'm not saying there aren't valid critiques. I'm not. I don't think I like The Acolyte. I don't think it was a perfect show by any means, but I didn't think it deserved to be all the hate and canceled. Just they could fix it, and there's nothing in there they couldn't fix. So I just think it's harder to do now, and I think that's part of what's causing the issues. Is Lucasfilm genuinely is afraid of the negativity, and
it's like they're walking on glass, making this new stuff.
They're walking on eggshells. They're walking on glass. They're worried about the reception, and as soon as something happens where it might spook them or whatever, then they abandon it and try again. And there's nothing. They don't have to make a new movie. Like they could honestly never make a new movie or a new TV show, and Star Wars can just coast for a long time. They can make money on just merch sales and whatnot just fine.
Yeah. I'm like one canceled movie away from being like, all right, let's just get, if we're not like, we don't have to replace Kathleen, but we might just need some additional like leadership or a council, like people to help out, I guess. We need to get a movie. I think we need to get an announced movie out there. If they're announcing a movie, we just have to have it hit theaters. Like we need that at least. I
think the Mandalorian movie, Mandalorian Grogu, I think that'll get us a win. I think that'll be okay.
Yeah.
I hope it's good, but at the very least, we know it's going to be made. And I really hope with Skeleton Crew coming out, I hope it's just a fun TV show.
The trailer looks fun. Yeah,
the trailers look fun. So I just want something fun.
And what's the release date on Skeleton Crew? Is it like December
2nd?
Something like that. Yeah.
We have one more episode before the first 2 episodes premiere.
Awesome.
So
yeah, that'll be cool. But the only thing we have left for this podcast is to add a figure into the Hall of Fame. So last episode we did the
snow speeder,
the snow speeder, which I've been absolutely loving that, and I can't wait to get that in its permanent display place. I'm redoing my shelves again here soon.
Oh, good.
I decided I'm going to do top row, like the armies, and then bottom, like everything under it's just going to be like the shows and movies, and I'm probably going to do hex stands for those, and then a similar stand to these, like a similar one, like you have the clear one, or I found some online. I ordered a couple of them just to test how they'd be. And then so top row is probably going to be like all the militaries, and then everything else is going to be TV shows and movies under it, like with just the characters. with no clones or troopers or anything. So I think it'll look cool. Hopefully it'll work out.
For sure.
But Mike, did you have any figure in mind you wanted to?
I have two. That I can't decide between.
All right.
One is Cad Bane with Toto 360.
Yep.
And the other is Captain Rex.
Those are two good ones. Those are two very good ones. Do we have any in the chat? We have a couple people watching live, so if you want to get one out there real quick, we can talk about. Who else did we talk about last time to throw in? Let's see.
I think you brought up the Royal Guard.
Yeah, Royal Guard would be.
We got
good.
like Zeb has been talked about before. We got a couple of Darth Mauls that could probably be in there.
Yeah. I'll throw out one I don't think we've brought up. I'll throw out the Tusken Raider. I know we probably don't have to do it this episode, but I'll throw it out there for future consideration, just to have it mentioned. Because I think that's an excellent Black Series figure. But
yeah, I mean, it came with a lot of accessories, which was fun. Good for army building.
Yeah, and all the detail and soft goods,
sure.
They're all really good. So, yeah, you said Cad Bane and Captain.
Either Cad Bane, specifically the Cad Bane and Toto 360, or
And
Captain
Toto.
Rex. Yeah. If I had to choose one, I think Captain Rex is probably going to get my vote.
See, I was gonna say Cad Bane and Toto. So
that for me was a big surprise. Like, I just didn't expect us to get that. And it was easily one of my favorite releases of all time. So I could easily switch to Cad Bane.
What we can do?
He's my favorite.
We can do a coin flip. All right, we're gonna do the Zoo Boy keychain coin flip. If it lands, it's just blank. So
okay.
if the Zoo Boy is facing up, it'll be Rex, and if the Zoo Boy is facing down, if it's a blank side facing up, it'll be Cad Bane and Toto. So I'm gonna flip it, catch it, and put it on my hand.
It'll work. Okay.
It's like a coin. I can just flip it.
Okay. All right.
It fell. Hang on. Redo. Take two. This is gonna work. All right. I gotta catch it though. All right. What's it gonna be? Oh, it was blank facing up.
It was blank facing up, so that's Cad Bane.
That's Cad Bane? I honestly couldn't remember what I said, so.
Pletho had a chance coin.
Well, maybe next time. So Cad Bane and Toto, is that what we're going with?
That's what we're going with.
So, Zoo Boy, thanks for giving me this keychain. It'll be my official, decider.
That's what we'll use to decide things now. Is a Zoo Boy keychain.
It's the closest thing I had.
Not even a penny.
Not even a coin. I don't think I have a coin anywhere around here. So, we'll maybe next time we got to do like a wheel. Maybe
I'm gonna throw Darth Maul in the air, and whichever side of the lightsaber breaks.
That's perfect. So Cad Bane and Toto 360, definitely a very good figure. I actually don't have the Toto, which is a little disappointing. I never got the set. I only have the normal Clone Wars Cad Bane, and I have the Bad Batch one too, but I never got the Toto 360, which is disappointing. And so hopefully they re-release it one day in the future, but I tend to doubt it.
Cool. Yeah. So that's it. That's our episode.
Yeah, that is Black Series Cantina episode 83 in the books. We'll be back in 2 weeks to discuss whatever other reveals. Hopefully we get some reveals and whatever Black Series news there is to talk about. Mike, do you have any upcoming videos you want to plug really quick?
I did a video on the Mandos. I grouped all 3 of the new Mandos that came out and did a video on them. I did a video on the Halloween figures before Halloween. And I did a live stream that I just talked about earlier where I unboxed the entirety of the latest wave because I might have some new figures coming. And I was starting to feel a little stressed with all the figures piling up that I hadn't even opened. yet. So I just decided it was time to just open a bunch of toys on stream. So that was part of the reason why I did that. So if you want to go watch the live stream, if you want to go watch the Halloween and the Mando videos, those are happening. I'm probably gonna do that Jedi Fallen Order 3-pack droid or Jedi Survivor 3-pack droid set next.
Yeah. And that was a fun live stream. I popped in and checked out some of it.
You did.
Yeah. If I wasn't any busy, I would have hopped on with you or something. I would have been like quick Black Series Cantina, unbox everything we have to unbox real quick. But go follow me on Instagram at Black Series Cantina. Follow me on TikTok at the Star Wars Black Series. If you want to support the podcast financially, join the Patreon. We have a tier for every budget. I think it's $2 up to $25, and then we even have like a ultra VIP if you really want to do that one. But we do have a VIP spot available, so if you want to hop on one of our VIP hangouts, feel free to do so. And then we also have a VIP group chat that you can join on Instagram if you join that tier. And then we have merch if you want to buy a Black Series Cantina mug or a glass cup. That's on teespring.com/Black Series Cantina. If you cannot support us on Patreon, leave a review for the podcast. That would help us out a lot, preferably 5 stars, and just give your thoughts. Let people know that they need to be listening to the Black Series Cantina podcast. Like, tag us on Instagram if you have anything. Tell your friends if they collect figures. Give us a listen. Anything helps. Follow us on Twitter at TBS Cantina. Join our Facebook group. That's Black Series Cantina. Always great conversations going on in there. And it's a very positive community. And I really enjoy that one. And then keep the email segment alive. blackseriescantina@gmail.com. We had a ton of emails this episode. Keep them coming. We'll cover all of them. And that's episode 83. I'm Zach, and that's Mike, and we'll be here in 2 weeks.
Bye.